Hello, 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 everybody. It is Monday evening, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on a Monday, and it is time for a Country Mama Quickie. If you are joining us after the live, thank you so much for watching the replay. Look forward to having you leave your comments below. And also, if you would like to schedule a Country Mama Quickie, there's going to be a banner that's going to go across the bottom there where you can reach me by email and let me know, hey, Country Mama, I want to have a quickie. So for those of you who don't know what a quickie is just a real quick rapid fire interview. And I've had some people say, rapid fire interview for 10 minutes, you say, and then you're on there for an hour. Well, just the rapid fire is an hour. The rest of it is time getting to know our guests, giving you the opportunity to come up and speak with them, and just having a good time. So tonight we have Tim and Trinity from Blue Collar Homestead. They're backstage. I'll be bringing them up in a minute. So who we have in the chat? Mr. Blue Collar Homestead, welcome. We also have Roost and Rescue. Hello, my friend. On the plant. Oh, look at everybody jump in all of a sudden here. Apple Tree Urban Homestead, Blackberry Rock Homestead, Living a Rogue Life with Carla. Kelly is here. We haven't seen Kelly in a while, so happy to see her. So guys, welcome in the chat. And just know that while I'm having my Country Mama Quickie with Tim and Trinity, I can't pay attention to what's going on over in the chat. So don't think that I'm intentionally ignoring you. That is not the case at all. I will try to play a little bit of catch up and pay attention to you. I know you're all going to have your sidebar chats going on anyways. So, but give your best attention to our friends, Tim and Trinity. I'm going to be bringing them up now from Blue Collar Homestead. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, friends. How are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, there we go.
How are you?
That's better. Good. How are you?
Were you having a technical difficulty?
We always do for some reason. It's like we haven't got this whole computer thing figured out. We're not like computer nerds yet, but we're working on it.
Me neither. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I don't even know what day it is half the time. Gwen is here from Baroque Cowgirl Homestead. Welcome. Okay, so Tim and Trinity are here for our Country Mama Quickie tonight, and we always like to start our quickies with a little bit of foreplay. So, guys, if you will tell us 4 random facts about you, it can be anything you want. It doesn't have to be about your homestead, just 4 random facts.
4 random facts, huh? Well, I guess one fact that kind of is a pain is I have to order my shoes. They never have a size 14 around here. So
size 14 shoes. You know what they say about men with big shoes?
They
have big feet. That's fun.
Well, there's that. I mean, I think I've owned over 30 different cars that I've driven.
Okay.
Which is kind of an odd one, but yeah.
That's 2 for you.
Okay, fine.
All right. I worked at Willy Wonka.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Trent worked with the Oompa Loompas.
I worked at Willy Wonka.
I am an Oompa Loompa.
I'm
here today.
I don't know the last one. I don't really have any interesting facts about myself.
We got to have one more. There's got to be something.
I'll let you take the third.
I'll let me take the third. Well,
or the fourth. I mean, take the fourth.
While Trinity's thinking of the 4th one, Tim, what was your second one? Because I didn't quite hear it.
So I think I've owned over 30 cars. I've gone through a lot of cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not, wrecking them in accidents. It's just I've gone through a lot of different cars. A lot of different cars.
All right. The last one is we've been together for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while. When I met Trent was only 15 when we met.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. High school sweethearts? Did you go to the same school?
No. Nope.
Did you go to rival schools?
Yes.
We did too.
It worked out good though, right?
Yeah.
It's worked. We've been together 40 years. So it's something though when you're coming from those rival schools. Barb's Country Home, welcome. Lazy Days Ahead, welcome. All right, guys. It is 9:34, and it's my understanding that Tim is going to go first. Are you guys ready? I have to put on my spectacles before I make a spectacle of myself. Here we go. Besides water, Tim, what is your favorite drink?
I have to say coffee.
Coffee?
Coffee.
Okay. Trinity,
Yes.
how many languages can you speak?
One.
One. Just like me, we have so much in common. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now these are random. I shuffled them before we started. Tim, which of the 7 dwarves describes you best?
Ooh. Well, it's
And I
not
can name them
sleepy.
off if you want to have a little bit of
It's not grumpy. It's not sleepy.
I would have said sleepy.
Nah.
Sneezy.
Sneezy for sure, dude. I am always sneezing. Like anytime I get around one of the barns and got to clean it out, I'm sneezing. I would say sneezy.
sneezy it is.
Yeah,
Sneezy
definitely
it is.
sneezy.
Okay. Trinity, if you could teleport right now, where or when would you go?
Ooh.
I would go back to. Oh, that's a hard one.
I know there's so many times in history that you would love to see, but
And you don't have to pick a time. It can be present day, but just pick a location. So it's when or where.
Oh, I don't know about location, but I'm going to go back to the 90s.
To the 90s, back when we all wore parachute pants and all the fluorescent colors and fun things like that.
Sort of, back when we had a large group of friends that we used to hang out with.
And we had big hair.
Yeah.
Tim, are you an optimist or a realist?
I would say probably a realist. I look at everything that's real. This is what's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Aw, Trinity.
Yeah.
Describe the person next to you in one word.
This ought to be good.
And don't say sneezy.
Positive.
Positive.
Yes.
Okay. Tim,
Uh-oh.
would you rather fart or burp glitter?
Oh,
Glitter's in the equation. We've got to know, are you farting the glitter or are you burping the glitter?
yes,
Which
please
would you
answer
prefer?
that question.
Let me tell
No,
you about
You
glitter.
have to answer it. You have to answer it.
Oh, geez.
Answer the question.
Well, you know what? I would have to say I have to fart the glitter because at least it'll be contained.
Right?
He hates glitter so much.
Trent had this Explorer, this 4-wheel drive Explorer for a while. I swear to God, they got glitter all over that thing. Oh, once you get that stuff somewhere, it's almost impossible to get rid of. You were in
Glitter
control, Paige.
is like the STD of the craft world. It's
Oh, I hate
everywhere. And it's there forever. It never goes
Yeah.
away.
I'm going to use that phrase.
I cannot stand glitter. I hate it. Somebody sent us one of those Christmas cards with all that glitter in there. Oh my God.
My sister-in-law does that all the time. Okay, Trinity, what is your favorite memory of 2021?
The end.
2020. Oh gosh. Honestly, I would say our gardening season. That was my favorite.
Yeah,
You guys had an amazing gardening season and all those tomatoes.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
A lot of work.
Okay.
But it was fun.
Tim, if you could be in the Guinness World Book of Records, what record-breaking feat would you attempt?
Oh, breaking the land speed record for sure.
It's not going to be how much glitter you can.
No.
The land speed record. That would be awesome.
Land speed record. I would totally do that in a second.
Okay. Trinity, what are you most looking forward to next week?
Oh gosh, what is next week? The extra day Paige has home from school.
Say that again.
The extra day Paige has home from school.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That is adorable. Tim, what is your favorite thing to do on a rainy day?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
We know it's not mud because we discussed that off camera.
No. Actually, you know what? When it's rainy or snowing and the weather's kind of crappy, I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll sit down and start, reloading bullets.
Start what?
Reloading.
Oh, reloading. Okay.
Stuff like that,
That hubby likes to do that too.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, Trinity, if you were a flower, what kind of flower would you be?
A tulip.
A tulip. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful answer. Tim, where do you want to retire?
Right where I'm sitting. Actually,
Right where you
a
are.
little more land, but the same area.
There you go. That's a good answer. Trinity, what kind of cheese would you be?
Swiss.
Swiss. She didn't even have to think. She knew. And you can't say Swiss without smiling.
Uh,
Tim, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Race car driver. Still
A
do.
race car driver. What
Yeah.
kind of race car driver? NASCAR, Formula One, drag racing?
It would either be drag racing or NASCAR, either one of those. Formula One, not so much, but I do have a Mustang that I drag race on occasion, but I haven't raced it in a while because we bought our house and we're making improvements.
Nice.
I got to do
Mustang's my
something.
favorite car. I love a good muscle car.
There'll be a video on that at some point, probably when the weather gets nicer. I'll bring
What
it
kind
out.
of Mustang do you have?
It's a 91. It's a 5-liter notchback. It's got a 5-speed in it. It's got a cam. It's got headers. It's got nitrous. It's got all kinds of goodies on it.
I just had a stock 2006 GT with a throaty exhaust. I loved it, but that's another story. Trinity. Oh, if you were in the Olympics, what would be your event?
Probably ice skating.
Right? Isn't that beautiful? I
Yeah.
love ice skating.
Yes.
I do too. Tim, do you have a collection of any type?
Firearms.
No.
Firearms.
We have license plates.
Pew-pews.
I have license plates. I do have older baseball cards that I haven't looked at in probably 25 years, but
Might have some doozies in there, huh?
maybe I should break them out one day and look. It's been a while.
Trinity, what is your favorite family tradition? I like how you both look at each other at the same time. Do we have traditions?
Do we?
I don't know.
I don't know if we do
I
either.
think it's just
Fighting-
we just do
wait,
it and don't even pay attention.
Wait, is it fighting over my mom's cheesecake?
I guess that would be it.
Fighting over mom's cheesecake. It's that good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
We would shiv somebody just for a slice of this cheesecake.
Get away from the cheesecake or I'll shank ya.
Yeah, pretty much.
Merry Christmas.
Exactly.
That's exactly when we have it too. Oh, hold on a second. I gotta get rid of that. Somebody trying to call me. I'm busy.
It's your mother-in-law talking about the cheesecake.
No, it's my brother, but I'll call him when we're done.
He doesn't get any cheesecake either.
No.
Tim, pick a superpower. Would you rather fly or be invisible, and why?
I would say probably fly, because then I don't have to sit in traffic. I don't have to pay for gas. And I don't even have to have a car at that point. That would be super easy.
Right?
That would make things way better.
Okay. Trinity, if you had an extra hour each day, what would you do with that hour?
Oh my.
I know what it is, but I want to hear you say it.
You know what it is?
Oh,
'Cause
I know what
don't.
it is. You would sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that extra hour she would sleep.
I would too. Tim, are you reading anything interesting at the moment? Besides my little ticker thing at the bottom of the screen.
No, not really. You know, when it comes to reading, it has to be something that I'm looking to get information on. I can't sit down and just read a book about a story or whatever. Well,
Yeah.
if I'm reading something, it's usually because, hey, I need to know about this, so I want to pick up this article, But
So you're not a recreational reader. Neither is my
No.
husband.
no,
Papa Jim is not either. No.
no, not really.
Trinity, what is your favorite quote?
Oh. Offhand, I don't know.
That was my dog.
Well, apparently that's the dog's favorite quote.
Shut up.
Leave
me alone.
You jumped.
I wasn't expecting her to do that.
Oh, that was funny.
Favorite quote, dog, shut up.
That's my quote every day.
We already discussed books. So you didn't have a quote, and my dog made me piddle my pants. I will ask you, Trinity, you tell everybody while I let this beast outside, who's your celebrity crush when you were younger? Who's your first celebrity crush? And I'll be right back.
Who is that one?
Oh, there was so many.
There were so many.
I don't know.
I'm running so I can hear who it is. Who is it?
Okay.
Sebastian Bach.
Oh, I remember you. Oh my gosh, when he sang that song, he's
Is if
he's
you,
beautiful.
if you hear all the articles and stuff about him, I guess he was a real, he wasn't get along very well with other people in the band.
It doesn't matter. He had beautiful hair.
He did.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And when he's saying that in vibrato, who cares?
Yeah.
Tim, we're going a little bit over because I had to run up for the dogs. What is your proudest achievement?
My little girl.
That's it. You can't get any better.
Mine too.
Well, yeah, I share
No,
her.
no,
I share her with Paige,
that's my
or
achievement
share her with
too.
Trend. I share Paige with Trend.
We were
We're
trying to
family
get-
in all aspects, it sounds like. Okay, we're a little bit over, so this is the last one. Trinity, have you ever met anyone famous?
No, I don't. I never did.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Who?
Don't you remember we went to that thing over in Arkansas? It's probably the most famous person you met.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You met him. Not
You met
me.
him too. You were standing right there in the
Just
picture
because
with me.
he invited me into the picture. It was JJ the boss.
JJ the Boss.
Yeah, from Memphis Street Outlaws.
Yeah.
The drag racing series on TV.
Really nice guy.
Yeah, super.
My
super
husband
cool
would
dude.
probably know who it is.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
We met him. Really cool guy. Really down to earth.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, guys,
That question would have been better for him.
it would have been better for him. That question would have been better for him.
Yeah.
Tim, have you met anybody besides JJ the Boss that's famous?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just say it.
Which one? Yeah, I met.
Which
Oprah.
one?
I met Oprah.
You met Oprah.
He
Yes.
was on Oprah.
Yes.
You were on Oprah?
Yes.
The show.
Yes. I used to
You
live
were
in
on
Chicago.
Oprah.
Huh?
We used to live in Chicago.
Well, yeah, we used to live up there. I lived right next to O'Hare Airport, but no, that was going way, way back when the Gulf War was going on the first time back in the '90s. I was still in high school, but that was my dad was called to active duty. He spent about a year in the Middle East for the first time. They went over there and had to straighten things out. And my mom having 6 kids and my dad being gone, somehow we ended up on that show. So,
Oh my goodness. Did she
Yeah.
go up there with all 6 of you?
it was kind of a different platform where everybody was kind of sitting in the crowd, and she
Yeah.
just kind of walked around and for different segments just went and saw different people.
I gotcha.
One of
Okay. And
those,
who
yeah.
else? Because she told you to pick. You had more than one person. Who else did
Yeah,
you
I
meet
don't
that
know
was
who they
famous?
Well, I got to think. Well, there was JJ. There was,
He knows everybody.
yeah. I mean,
Seriously, they know everybody.
my dad used to get Christmas cards from the White House, but that was a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Wow.
I used to see him all the time. I'm like, what? What am I getting
Yeah.
into here?
I'd have to think about that. I'm sure there's another one I'm missing. Not anything crazy, but
Yeah. Oprah.
It,
was, I think,
it might be a little bit before your time, but do you guys remember who Joe Azuzu is?
Can't say. I
David
do.
Leisure. He's an actor. He used to do the Zuzu commercials in the
No.
80s and 90s. Okay, have you ever seen the movie Airplane?
Yeah.
Yes.
The 2 Hare Krishnas that are on the airplane,
Yes.
one of them is David Leisure.
Oh wow.
I met him and I went to shake his hand. Now, if you think about how goofy he is, I think he also was in a show on TV like the 10 Rules to Date My Daughter or something like that.
Yeah.
He's kind of goofy and creepy. He's a comedian. I went to shake his hand and he pulled me and kissed me full on the mouth.
Oh,
And
boy.
that's kind of like my claim to fame of ickiness. It's like it would be like having like Gilbert Gottfried
Oh.
pulling you
Oh.
in and kissing you.
How many years ago did this happen?
That was in 97, 98.
Wow, what a weirdo.
Yeah, it was like, whoa.
This day and age, you can't just grab a woman and go up there and pull her in for a kiss, dude. You go to jail for that kind of
Full
stuff.
on the. I mean, I could understand like a Hollywood kiss on the side. It was at a big fundraiser, and I mean, you've got some Hollywood elites and some baseball players and all this other stuff, and some guys from Hollywood. And oh, look, it's Joe Azuzu, and just full on the mouth. It was like.
Whoa.
So now I tell people all the time, you know that guy.
Howdy Krishna guy.
Wow.
I think I'd rather be on Oprah.
I don't know if a lot of women would have tolerated that. Like Trent probably would have punched
Oh, I
him.
would have punched him.
That wouldn't have ended well.
I was shocked, but I
I
just
would
went with
imagine.
it. I just went with it. I was in a position where I was representing my community.
Yeah.
If I just would have been just an individual and he did that, I probably would have said, hey, buddy, but I was representing my city at a function and I kind of had to behave myself.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? But, well, that was fun. Let's see what everybody's talking about in the chat. Bland's Promised Land Ranch is here. They've met a lot of Yankee baseball players now. This dog is barking. Gray Wolf Outdoors, welcome. Jason Momoa, says Kelly from Rooston Rescue. You know, Jason Momoa's grandma lives here in Iowa. Gray Wolf met Bill Elliott.
Oh, that's cool.
Clint Boyer gave me a box of lug nuts off of his race car in the safe right over here. I've got Papa Jim's gun safe right here. In
So
the
you're
safe.
the reason he got the fine for having the loose lug nuts, huh?
In the safe, Papa Jim has a lug nut from the tire that I want to make sure I get this right. Chocolate threw to him out of Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s pit.
Wow.
That is cool.
When he got to go down into the pits and they got to go over to the Dale Earnhardt race car. And I think his crew chief, or his name was Chocolate, if I'm getting it right. I might be getting it wrong. It might have been Hershey. I don't know. But he picked up a lug nut and he tossed it to Jim, and Jim's kept it this whole time, and he's got it over in his safe. It's from Dale Earnhardt's car.
Cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, he really did love him. Hello, Sandy. Welcome. Ooh, George Strait, someone said.
Oh, that's cool. That's really
Monica remembers Joe Isuzu.
Hey, Coupon Gale met Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid.
What?
So
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, the Karate Kid. Whoa!
No, or
Never ages. That boy never ages.
I know, right? I mean, we're watching the Cobra Kai series, and yeah,
Yes.
he's a little older, but that dude's like 60, man. He doesn't look like it.
No. He got some good bloodlines there because he looks the same, and we are absolutely loving Cobra Kai. Don't give it away because we're only 2 episodes into season 4.
Oh,
But
wow.
I
We're
love
watching it all. We're caught up.
You're all caught up. I love
Oh,
the
yeah.
back and forth and the references to the past, and I love it all.
Yeah, it's pretty good, actually. It's pretty good.
Dog, I'm going to muzzle you. I'm going to stuff your mouth full of peanut butter so you can't
There
bark.
you go.
All right, so I'm going to drop the link. If anybody would like to come up and say hello to Tim and Trinity, I'm going to drop that, right?
Yeah, the Iron Sheik from the WWF back in the 80s. Funny story was.
You guys talk wrestling. I'm letting in the dog, and I'm going to do
Okay.
like a half Nelson and drop her to the ground and drive her.
A few years back, I mean, we went to a bar over in Rosemont after one of the WWF things. Remember that?
Yeah.
A long time ago. It was Viscera was in there. Shawn Michaels was in there. It's where all the wrestlers went afterwards to go hang out over. Yeah, there was a lot of them in there. That was pretty cool.
Grace and Fire
Norris
says
in the
they
theater.
met
Oh man, watch out for Chuck, man.
Chuck. Oh, Chuck Norris.
That's right, Chuck Norris, man. Nobody messes with Chuck Norris.
Okay, so who's seen Not at the Roxbury?
Oh, we love that movie. It's
Chris
hilarious.
Kattan. Saw him up at the airport a couple of years ago. He was standing behind me in line to get a coffee,
Yeah.
and had this big, huge bandage over his face. Huge bandage. Like, I don't know if he had his nose broken or what. And Papa Jim's looking at me going, what's wrong with you? And so he walks over to me and goes, the guy standing behind you. It's Doug Batabi. And I looked at him and was like, oh my gosh, it is. And we didn't want to be the typical, idiots in the middle of the airport. So we just left him be, and he got his coffee, and we're sitting there like this, watching him the whole time he's getting his coffee. And I already had my coffee. He got a coffee and a sandwich or something. As he walks away, I go, hey, Chris. And he turns and looks, and we both lift up our coffee and go, dun, 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 dun.
He started laughing at you guys?
He nodded with his coffee and turned around and walked away.
Oh, that's funny. Weird stuff like that happens. Like, you go back to, last month, we went to the Christmas parade here in town because Paige was in the parade with the band and all that. And well, first this like 80-year-old lady comes up by herself, and we're sitting there talking with her. She's a nice lady. And then on the other side, this guy and his wife come up with two small kids. And this guy's got all these dreadlocks and stuff. And when we're talking to them, nice people.
Very nice.
Well, lo and behold, I'm like, man, this guy looks familiar. I don't know where I know this guy. I've seen him somewhere. And then we get back in the car. So I know where he's from. You ever see that show, Full Throttle Saloon on TV, the biker bar in Sturgis?
Yes.
Well,
Papa Jim used to watch that all the time.
it was the owner of that bar. He has a distillery in Trimble, which is the next town over. So we were sitting there chatting with him for a good, 20 minutes or so, back and forth. Just really nice guy. Really, really cool family.
See, I have Papa Jim and then 4 sons. We have no girls. So the whole life growing up with them has been all just revolved around things like that. And I had gone to lunch with my son one day and he's like, Mom. And I think he was like 18 or 19 years old. He's sitting at the booth going, Mom. I'm like, what? He goes, don't look. I'm like, what? He goes, don't. And I'm like this. He's like, don't look. Some guy from Crusty Demons of Dirt.
Don't know if I know that one.
Some motor, the Crusty Demons of Dirt, all the motorcycle guys that ride out in Glamis and everything on the dunes. Some big famous motorcycle guy or something. He was all excited and went over and sat with him at his table and hung out with him for a while. It's like, it'd be like meeting like a Bill Elliott but of the motorcycle world. Travis Pastrana, something like that.
Yeah, Travis Pastrana he's probably the best known like motocross freestyle guy in the world. Everybody knows who he is. Even if you don't ride motorcycles, you know who he is.
Right. So it was one of his buddies, but I don't know who they are. So welcome Nisi into the group. And yes, Grey Wolf is saying yes, the owner of Full Throttle. I know if I probably saw it and we watched an old episode, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Cool guy.
That whole place burnt down, didn't it?
The bar in Sturgis, as far as I know it did. I mean, I watched the show here and there. I wasn't like glued to it or anything. But the distillery here in Trimble is only like 7 miles from here. I've wandered into there a few times. They got really good coffee they're actually selling in there now. Yeah, go figure that one out, right? You go to a distillery, they got coffee now. It's really good stuff. It's a little pricey, but it's good. It's really good.
Well, you'll pay it when it's a good cup of coffee. Good night, Sandy. Thank you for joining us. Oh, you made a necklace. Oh, how wonderful. We're going to be having a giveaway, and Sandy over at Suburban Homesteader, she has another YouTube channel that she does the glass work, and she's sending us one for our giveaway that we're going to be doing. So that's a wonderful thank you. I'm sure I've missed plenty in the chat. I've dropped the chat link a couple of times if anybody wants to come up. Grace and Fire says, I kissed Senator Bob Dole, and I have the pictures to prove it. Did you kiss him or did he kiss you?
I'm still looking at the Tom Hanks is hysterical to hang out with. And he did a Snapchat filter with my son. Now that's funny. That's pretty funny.
I've got a friend here where we live, and she does the cutest thing with her kids. And I wish I would have been able to do this when my kids were little, or even if I would have known about it for my grandkids, because I think it would have been so great. She has videos of them when they're walking. It doesn't matter where they are. She'll say, Andy's coming, and they all drop to the floor. They don't even think about it. They all just flop to the floor, and they lay there every single time she says it. I think it is the cutest thing. And I'm still a little jealous over Keep on Gale with her Ralph Macchio comment.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because that's pretty cool. Let's see. He's a hoot in person. I was on the Today Show with him. Backstage was funny. Wow. You've got some clout. I kissed Bob. He said he liked to get kisses, so I kissed him on the cheek, of course. Could you imagine the scandal this day and age?
Oh, big time.
Oh my gosh. Earlier tonight, Papa Jim and I, before we came on here for this live, we were watching an old Sonny and Cher comedy hour. And boy, the stuff that they got away with during that comedy hour was hysterical. The politics and the innuendos and the overt sexuality of it all cracked us up. But And we would just
Unfortunately
look at
now,
each other and say, that was good comedy and we can't have it now.
no,
Right.
not anymore. I mean,
Yep.
if you look at like all the Mel Brooks movies, there's no way they would let those out right
Well,
now.
even
No
All
way.
in the Family.
Oh, yeah, All in the Family is another one.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you started
Oh,
like
I
that,
grew up on
oh,
All in the Family.
Yep.
yeah, that just wouldn't fly these
Or
days.
even remember the Honeymooners?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Honeymooners. That was another good one.
Yeah.
That was
Well, guys, we've got a guest coming up. Carla from Living a Rogue Life wants to come up and say hello.
Come on up. Hey, what's happening?
Hi,
Hey,
Hi.
Man, you started talking NASCAR, you had my heart. So yeah, I just wanted to jump up when you were talking about NASCAR, and I mentioned about having the lug nuts. So I was actually traveling and stopped at like in the middle of the night at some Denny's or something, and there was this big NASCAR trailer outside, and all the NASCAR guys were inside. The mechanics, they were traveling from one race to another, and I was sitting in there, and I'm a Jack Daniels. I own 1 square foot of Jack Daniels distillery property.
Oh, wow.
And I was sitting in there and I looked over and I'm like, that's Clint Boyer. That's my driver. That's my guy. And so I got up the nerve and I walked over and I was like, hey, Clint, I'm a big fan. And he's like, well, come on out. Let me show you the car. So he takes me up into this huge trailer they're towing, and he's got 2 race cars in there. And he shows me, and Snap-on tools down the whole side. And he shows me the whole inside, and he gives me this velvet black box, and he cracks it open, and there's a set of lug nuts in it, unused, brand new. And I'm like, he had to have these ready for fans. But yeah, I got his lug nuts.
there
That's
you go.
nice.
Cool.
Clint Boyer's nuts.
All 4 of them, 6 of them, however many you got.
There was like 12, I think.
12.
But, yeah, a lot of
Oh,
nuts.
geez.
You got a whole dozen nuts.
You gotta have that many nuts to drive that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everybody can do that.
Well, you know,
Good
my
night, Blackberry Rock.
nickname used to be Hairpin Hadley. I could take my car on 2 wheels, and
Wow.
I probably still can.
Well, I had a friend like that. We used to drive his car on no wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, like.
Dukes
I'm
of
like, like,
Hazzard.
you didn't have any,
Yeah,
or
let me tell you the story about that. This is so bad.
okay.
No. I'm about to tell them about Matt.
Oh.
This friend of mine. We went to high school together. Know each other a long time, but he had this like '85 Oldsmobile 4-door.
Mhm.
We hit these railroad tracks doing about 70 miles an hour. We launched that car about 6 feet into the air.
Been there, done that.
Well, here's the funny part. There was a street on the other side of those tracks you couldn't see.
Ooh, not good.
Well, the problem was we had friends standing on the top of their cars on that side of the street, doing one of these.
Right.
It's about 2 a.m. Well, this cop pulls up and says, "What are you guys doing?" So here comes me and Matt doing like 75 miles an hour. And the cop pulled up to the stop sign. He said he put it in park and just waited. I mean, if you would have pulled out, we would have jumped clear over him. It would have been bad.
It would have been
You know, you
bad.
talk about not knowing the value of something. Looking back, and when we were a kid, we didn't know the value of what we had. Versus if I had it to do over, I'd have never done it. I had a
Well,
GTO. I had a GTO, and it was old. It was old, and I mean, we're talking in the 70s.
Yeah.
And in the 70s, the GTO was old. And we wanted a new car, and we took this thing out and tried to blow that engine just so we could get a new car. And I mean,
Oh,
me and my
goodness.
buddies, we rolled it. We went airborne over railroad tracks. We did everything. We could not kill that car. So we ended up taking like a low ball and traded it in. And if I could do it over, I've had Nova Super Sports from 65. It's like, when you talk muscle cars, that used to be my thing. I guess, well, I'm still got a passion, but now I'm into Jeeps and mud.
Well, cars nowadays are pretty ridiculous. And, as far as like the Jeep Wrangler goes, those things hold their value better than anything out there.
Well, yeah, I just bought one last July, and I found that I could buy it brand new stock and build it the way I want to build it versus buying something that's already 10 years old, even though the body's great and the engines are different. But I don't know what they've already done to it because everybody tricks them out.
Right.
So, so I got a brand new one, and I just bought a new winch and a new bumpers and took off the top and put off the doors and stripped it naked.
When Papa Jim and I were dating, he had his grandmother's 1972 Lincoln Continental.
That would be a cool car to have.
That was a big old boat.
That's a land yacht.
I remember being on the floorboard crying when that big old boat was going about 120 down that country road.
Oh,
And he was pushing it as far as he could get it to go. And it was just this long stretch of road. And he said he got to 120 and then he gave up.
Well, you know, it's funny like that. When my parents were dating, my dad had a Mustang Cobra Jet. I think it was like a 68. And he had my mom in the front and my grandma in the back seat. And my grandma, who's never had a license her whole life, ever, she tells him, "Don't you think you're driving kind of fast?" He says, "Man, I pushed that pedal down. I got that car up to 150. She never said a word again.
She never said.
Nope.
That's because she lost her teeth 2 miles back.
Probably.
Welcome, Royce Homestead. Welcome to the
I have
farm.
my grandfather. My grandfather bought a 1983 Cadillac jet black, and that was his ride. In fact, he loved it so much no one ever drove it. He bought my grandmother a new Cadillac every year just to keep her out of his. But on Easter, like 2 years after he owned it, he let me drive it. I'm the only other person who ever drove that car besides him. When he passed away, my grandmother didn't want me to have it. She's like, "Oh no." And I guess it's because she was kind of like, she never got to drive it. So she gave it to my cousin, who parked it in the backyard, had no use for it, let his kids play with it. Well, I got it back 2 years ago.
Oh.
And it's still all original. It's still beautiful. It needs some love, but I'm restoring it. It has 89,000 original miles
Wow.
That's
on
not
the
bad.
engine. And it still cranks over 1983, and it still cranks over all original. And you open the
Wow.
trunk, it's immaculate. Everything in the trunk is just immaculate and brand new.
That's good.
So other than exterior, everything's perfect.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know when I was growing up, my parents, they were caretakers for a ranch. And in the milk house was a 1966 Fastback Mustang. And the man whose farm we were caretaking, he bought it. I don't even know how many miles it had on it, maybe 1,000. He just parked it and he was saving it for his grandson. Had the pony seats in the back, and I would just go and sit in it. And I always wanted a Mustang. From that time, I just fell in love with that car. I don't particularly care for the fastbacks, but I would have taken that one. But I've always loved Mustangs. So for my 40th, Papa Jim bought me that 2006 Mustang GT. I loved that car, but it was too much. It was too much power, and I learned the hard way one day because I thought, let's just see what it'll do. And it was like that, and I realized I'm not in a good spot right now, and I really let off, and it's like, I'll never do that again. So it's just outside of residential area, and if I would have lost control or if I would have gotten a ticket, I would have been in trouble.
I think that's one of the reasons
Oh, you're breaking up.
You're breaking up, Carla.
Okay, you're breaking up.
You sound like a robot.
Yeah, something going on there.
Yeah.
All right. We'll
Oh,
see you later.
you're leaving? I'm sorry.
Technical difficulties. It gets us all at some point. You know?
Technical difficulties. Modest Moongazer, welcome to the chat. I'll drop the link again if somebody else wants to come up. We're talking cars. We're talking icky, weird celebrity kisses on the mouth, which, you know, is I don't know, is that a step up or a step down from glitter farts? I don't know.
Well, you
I don't
know,
know either.
I don't want no weird celebrity kisses, dude. So I'll stick with the glitter farts as much as I hate glitter.
I'm trying to think of what your female component for that would be.
What's up, my Moongazer?
Tracy Ullman.
Tracy Ullman, no.
When she was in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
God, I haven't seen that movie in a while.
That's such a good movie.
Well, earlier you mentioned Mel Brooks, and I went, Fagler?
Yeah.
That's from that movie.
I'm sorry, but Mel Brooks is freaking hilarious.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, Mel Brooks is funny.
He is. Yeah, Carla, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what happened. You were fine. And then all of a sudden, you just started sounding like a robot. If you want to try it again, you're more than welcome to come back up. I don't think it was anything on the StreamYard end. I do think it was on your end because we were both hearing it. So,
Oh, okay.
well, I want to ask you guys. Oh, she left. I can't ask until she comes back.
She had to turn the furnace off for a second. But it takes a minute for it to turn off. I have the fireplace going, so sometimes we'll turn the blower on just to suck the heat off the fireplace and put it in the rest of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got the pellet stove going right now because it was a little chilly earlier here in the house. We do still have snow here. And the other day the wind chill was -31 the other day, and the pellet stove stopped working. So we'll have a couple videos coming out this week about getting down and dirty and in there and cleaning it out and fixing it. Oh, look at Grace is still talking about Bob Dole. I'm glad I did it. I kiss old men. I told hubby he should be scared. I kissed an 80-year-old British guy for his birthday when we lived in England. Hubby should be scared.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no. Oh,
look at that.
I will admit to kissing the mayor of Hollywood on his cheek. He was an older guy. And now Carla says her electronics are freaking out.
Yes.
Her cell phone is singing and her TV is turning off and on. Oh my gosh, it's like
poltergeist.
That sounds like a
poltergeist. Yeah,
they're here.
Yeah, it's a poltergeist.
There's your female kiss right there. Is the lady that saw poltergeists in their home. The little lady that was freaking out. Graywall, I'm in upstate New York and it's bitter cold here. Yeah, you guys got a lot of snow up there this week. Oh my gosh. Somehow it's just we're getting it here in Iowa, but not like the rest of the world is getting it.
I think they're supposed to get more in the East Coast.
I keep hearing that too. They're supposed to get hammered next week.
Yeah. Well, we've had, just in the last 3 weeks, we've had snow, we've had tornadoes, we've had terrible thunderstorms, we've had thunder snow where it's lightning and thundering and snowing at the same time.
Oh, those are fun.
Yeah.
We've just had a lot of crazy weather here in Iowa, but the really heavy stuff has just kind of circumvented us a little bit. So I want to know, do you guys have any questions for me now that you're done with your quickie?
I don't think so. I think we've covered everything back and forth pretty well. So what are your plans for the summer? What are you doing this summer?
What am I doing this summer? I'm going to go light on the garden this year. I haven't completely planned my garden yet. I know I won't be growing any more cucumbers because for me, my cucumbers were like your tomatoes. I had so many cucumbers, I couldn't get rid of them, and I'm throwing them to the chickens, and I would turn around and there would be more cucumbers. And I'm not kidding. I would go feed the chickens in the morning, and there'd be this little cucumber, and it's like, oh, that'll be ready in a couple days. And I'll go out in the afternoon, and it's like, it's this big.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were everywhere. So I've got, 75 jars of pickled stuff in the pantry. I won't be doing pickles, but I do want to up my tomato production. But for the most part, I'm so tired. I almost feel like just taking a bunch of zinnia seeds and just throwing them all in the garden and say, just grow, and just leave it at that.
The crazy thing with gardening that we've actually looked at was we bought all these seeds, and we don't buy seeds that are, plants that are already started at the store. Like, we don't do that. With the scale that we grow things on, last year we had 133 tomato plants. Now, if I had to go and buy 133 of those, I would be broke.
No.
It'd be $1,000. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But we scaled back. We're doing only 100 tomatoes this year.
Oh, I'm glad you're scaling back.
It was like 105 or something. Yeah.
I wanted maybe 70 or 80, but apparently we're still at 100.
I will be upping mine from I think I probably had a dozen tomato plants. I might double that this year. Tomatoes, green beans. Grace and Fire says zinnias, and that's what I grew last year, and I have all the seeds, and I just want to broadcast a bunch of zinnias everywhere. But the fun thing that we're going to be doing this summer, and I don't know if anybody in the chat or if you guys have had the chance to see, Papa Jim is stuffing my pinata every Saturday. Say what? So We're having pinata stuffings every Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah, he's stuffing my pinata.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Well, it's how you
Especially-
think. It
especially
sounds
during
just
your
fine.
cookies.
It's how you interpret it.
Yeah.
So what it is we have the spinning wheel. We have one that's 1 through 50 and the other one is 51 through 100. And we spin each wheel on Saturday, and whatever number it lands on, we take that amount of money and we stuff it in a pinata.
Oh, cool.
And so we're going to do that for 26 weeks. We're doing it every week. And then at the end of the 26 weeks, we're going to take a baseball bat and beat the crap out of it, open it up and see how much money we have in there. And that is our travel fund for the summer. So we're going to go somewhere fun for the summer. So right now, and I've got another wheel where we're adding destinations too. So right now we're going to add Mount Rushmore because he wants to go see Mount Rushmore. He's never seen it. And then Lake Mackinac up in Upper Michigan, and that because we've never seen the Great Lakes, so we'll get to see the Great Lakes. Branson, Missouri's coming in pretty strong because it looks like there's a lot of neat things to do in Branson.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of keeping it close right now for our first little pinata go around within 750 miles. But I mean, we've got a wish list: Hawaii, Alaskan cruise, the Alamo, just all kinds of weird things. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to, every week he's going to stuff my pinata and then we're going to beat the crap out of it and see where we go.
I can't not laugh at that.
Well, you know what's really funny? It's a cupcake pinata. So, and somebody said I should have called, instead of a cupcake, it should be a muffin. And I just broke up laughing when they said that because I thought, oh, I'm so glad I'm not coming on here every Saturday and saying Papa Jim's stuffing the muffin. But then I thought, oh, I just broke down laughing hysterically. And they're like, what's wrong? It's like they had a taco pinata.
I don't know what's worse. All this stuff you're saying or the part where you say beat the crap out of my pinata.
I'm getting the taco next time. I'm getting the taco. Next time I'll be stuffing a taco.
Oh, man.
That'd be great.
That is too funny.
It's all in how you interpret it. It's clean. It's clean. It's just all what you do with it up here. And I always like to say if it weren't for the gutter, my mind would be homeless.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one. I'm sure there's a lot of people like that out there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people right now that are picking their jaws up and clutching their pearls.
I'm sure.
You know, and we got this idea because there's this thing, if you look it up on YouTube, there's this thing called the 100 envelope challenge. And people will number their envelopes 1 through 100, mix them all up. They pull out an envelope, whatever it says, they stuff the money in there and they put it aside. Well, when you're done, you get $5,050. And so you watch the next video and it's like, I wonder how much money I'm going to get. It's like, you're going to get $5,050 because it all adds up the same every single time.
Right.
And after about the 5th video, it's like, this is stupid. Everybody's making videos and everybody's watching them, but they end up with the $5,050. I thought I needed something different. So I have the Cupcake Pinata Challenge and I've got 3 people doing it now.
Oh, that's
And so you don't keep track, you don't write it down, you don't take the numbers off the wheel. It's always going to have just random numbers.
Yeah. That's cool.
That is
So
cool.
stuffing the pinata is what they're calling it these days. Wink, wink.
It's going to go viral.
That's what the kids call it nowadays, huh?
That's what they're calling. That's what you kids are up to. Grace and Fire says, I'm going to tell hubby that and see what he thinks. I can't wait to see his look. and Grace says, next time, stuff the taco. Carla says, my grandparents fell in love with Branson and went every year. Gray Wolf says that's a really cool way to save money. It is. I'm having a lot of fun with it. We're also collecting any change that we find around the house and putting it in a little piggy bank, and it counts the money. And so every time we go live, we put money in it and we tell you, okay, I'm putting in a quarter, putting in a dime. And then at the end, whoever comes closest to guessing how much we have in the piggy bank without going over is going to win a prize.
Oh, neat.
Oh, remember all the change we saved? I mean, the last few times, all the change we saved, we bought chickens with it. Like once or I think we did that a couple times, like once or twice a year. Just take all the change and go buy chickens.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's been times in our lives where we raid that Sparklets bottle and we buy food because we were starving.
Been there.
Yeah, that
That's
happens. Everybody goes through that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it saved us more than once. But I think what we're going to do with that money is when we go on this trip that we're going to go on, that will be our stash that we'll keep in the center console. And if we go through a drive-through to get a drink, or if we stop at a coffee shop somewhere to get a coffee, that will be the refreshment fund.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you
there
go.
you go. That'll work.
That's nice.
So that's my plans for the summer since you asked.
Well, it sounds very exciting.
Well, guys, we've dropped the link a few more times. We haven't had anybody else come up. It looks like I had to force feed that jar. Yeah, the jar has a slot for the coins in it, Carla. But it's got this little lever in it. So when you push the coin down, it has to actually move the lever so it gauges the size of the coin as it drops in, so it knows how much to count, whether it's a 25-cent, 10-cent. It knows by the size of that coin. So you have to manhandle it. It's much easier to stuff a taco or a cupcake. So, but if you guys get a chance, I hope you pop in for a couple of those times. Those are lots of fun. But thank you so much for coming up for a quickie with me tonight. I really enjoyed having you guys here. We had a lot of laughs, good times, and it's nice that everybody gets to learn a little bit more about you other than what you do on your homestead.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
My pleasure. It was really good to see you, and I look forward to see what you guys do in your garden this year.
Same
I'll do
here.
my best not to get tomato envy.
Okay.
'Cause I did this last year.
Well,
Well,
You know,
that's an hour,
oh wait, Carla's going to try to come up one more time and say
Oh.
goodnight to you.
Okay.
Is
I
it
think
working now?
I think I tamed the poltergeist.
you're back.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So I just wanted to come up. So how is the chili entry going?
It's going good. We actually just found we have someone who's going to judge the videos for us
Very cool.
and determine first, second, and third place winners.
Now, is it
Awesome.
too late to enter?
No, it ends on Saturday. Saturday is the last day to enter.
And if I already put up a chili video, can I just hashtag it?
I don't see why
Sure.
not.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. It's vegetarian. It's not going to win, but it'll be
Ew.
for fun.
You know what?
Hey, you never know.
There is all different kinds of chili recipes
Yeah.
getting thrown up on this thing. So,
Okay.
you know.
Yes.
It'll be fun to watch.
I'll look into that and I'll add mine. Carla, are you going to put yours in?
No. You know, when I saw that they were doing it, I just wanted to help promote what they were doing. I don't want to be part of that. Chili competitions and barbecue competitions is what I live. And so it's kind of like you do it all the time. You don't want to, it's not fun anymore. You know,
Probably
it's
don't
more
make
like
the
work.
prize.
Yeah. So I did try to sponsor a little bit and encourage people to join. I'm going in for surgery on Tuesday. So knock on wood, everything will be great after that. And I'm looking forward to a new year.
We'll be
Now,
praying for it.
Tomorrow, Tuesday, or a week from tomorrow?
Well, a week from tomorrow, but they called me tonight and said, "Hey, we can get you in tomorrow morning." And I went, nope. I told them no. I'll stick with. So I was supposed to have done it 2 weeks ago, but my doctor ended up with the Rona, and he just came. This is his first week back, but all of his appointments are canceling. And since they're canceling, they're like, "Hey, we have openings," and I'm like, "Well, they're canceling for a reason."
Yeah.
I want that extra. Let him be aired out for another week before I go in.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know. So so I'm gonna wait, and it'll be next Tuesday, 1 week from tomorrow, and
Okay.
then
Well,
all this will be behind me.
yes, and we will keep you in our prayers, and you make
And
sure
I
you let
appreciate
us know
that,
how
'cause
you're doing.
I break down a lot.
We'll be praying for you, Carla.
Awesome. And then when I wake up, I'm gonna come get chili.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. That sounds like a
All right,
plan.
guys, listen. I wanted to jump up and say I killed the poltergeist, and I love watching you, and it's a lot of fun. And
What's
now
fun-
that I know that you're into race cars, what?
What's behind you, Carla?
Well, I'm sitting in bed. Let's see if I can get.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing that there was a poltergeist behind you. Oh, there's your puppy.
There it is.
This is Tank.
Tank's beautiful.
That is a cool looking dog.
That is.
3 huskies and a beagle.
I was
And,
just teasing with you because I was teasing about the whole poltergeist thing. Like, what's behind you?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Well,
All right,
Carla,
guys.
get
Thank
plenty of
you.
rest, and we'll
Yes,
talk to you
ma'am.
soon.
Good
Thank
luck
you. Love you
tomorrow. Good luck
guys.
next week.
Bye-bye.
You might have to kick me out. I'm not sure how to leave.
Okay. Oh, she did it. I didn't do it.
Yes. Hurry up.
All right,
and
guys.
Got her.
Well, thank you so much again for joining me. I had a great time. I will look into the chili. I'd heard about it, but I thought I didn't think I'd want to jump in, but maybe I will.
Yeah,
Just for fun. We'll throw a little spice in there.
Yeah, why not?
So I will do that as soon as we get done here.
Thank you, Alicia. Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks for having us. And,
Thank you so much for coming up. You're welcome anytime, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon.
All right.
Great.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys. Good night, everybody in the chat.
See you later.
Bye-bye. So just real quick, thank you again so much to Tim and Trinity for coming up, being good sports. We had some fun questions. I think the glitter one was the best. I will see everybody on Wednesday morning for our coffee chat. I have an announcement on Wednesday morning about a second channel that's coming up. It's a more serious channel. We'll be dealing with some serious topics, and I would appreciate your support in subscribing, but I don't expect you to watch the videos. That is the great thing about it. I'm not looking to get, monetized or for it to grow, but it will be just a reference channel for people to tune in for those who have recently received any diagnosis for cancer. So it's going to be kind of a tips and a motivational thing. So I appreciate support, but I hope you never have to watch it. So I will be talking about that on Wednesday, 10 o'clock Central Time. Let's get together for some coffee and some chat. And also, we should be having our podcast that we taped this morning on Round the Hay Bale, should be releasing tomorrow or the next day, Spotify, Apple, and Google podcast arenas. So make sure you catch the podcast. If you want to go back and see it on YouTube, Round the Hay Bale, you can go see all of us being goofy this morning. We had Tammy from Mountain Grandma up. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. It was so good to see some beautiful, friendly faces, some that I haven't seen in a while. I was happy to see you back. And I'm just so glad you were able to come and spend a little time with us tonight. So until I see you guys again, as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, have a blessed week, and we'll see you again later. Bye-bye.